Petty Officer, Second Class Jose Salima with that, the two anthems there. We're going to have a minute's silence here in just a moment for two reasons. The Humboldt Broncos hockey team, you might have read about this, their bus crashed on the way to a game earlier this month. And we'll hold for a moment. Well, wonderfully observed, and just to explain that, the Humboldt Broncos hockey team bus crashed on the way to a game earlier this month, claiming the lives of 16 players and coaching staff. And earlier this week, 10 victims of the incident that took place, 10 victims of that incident that took place in Toronto on Monday, affecting everyone across that city. And that's why we had that minute silence. This is the way they are lining up Toronto, with Wallace at the back of it, and Kay, Rawstorn, Hickson, Pownall. You might have just caught the halves there, McCrone and Briley. At the pack, Emmett, Bezic and Sims, Patterson, Bussey and Lussick. And on the bench for the Wolfpack today, the four interchange players, Sidlow, Ackers, Hopkins and Whiting. So what about Halifax? How are they lining up today? Well, this is the way that Halifax are. Sharp at fullback, Saltonstall, Heaton, Tyra and McGrath, Morrell and Johnston in the halves. Up front, Fairbank, Moore, Marr, Grady, Butler and Grix. And the bench for them looks like this: Ben Kay, Elliot Morris, Brandon Douglas and James Green. Liam Moore is our referee, who's about to get things underway here. Toronto playing in the white tops, and Halifax in the mainly black with a bit of red as well. Remember, this is officially a home game as far as Toronto are concerned. The first on the turnaround, if you like. They've already met Halifax once this season, beaten them by 20 points to 6, but it was a real battle. They were trailing 6-4 at half-time, so they know they're in a battle again here today, and this should be terrific. We're looking forward to this. Brian Noble, what are you expecting?
Well, two good teams, two big teams as well, and I think it's a small field. Just for our viewers over in Canada, the width of the field isn't the biggest, so a lot of action will take place in and around the middle, where those big blokes are bumping and bashing into each other and trying to gain the advantage.
So Halifax with the early opportunity. That's Sharp, who's going to be tackled on the 20-metre line, pulled out from dummy half by Moore. The kick downfield from Morrell. It's going to be bouncing, but safely enough into the hands of Blake Wallace. Well, it's a good return, because Toronto will start the set inside their opponent's half.
Well, first defensive set from Toronto was outstanding in relation to restricting the Halifax territory. But they'll get used to this game. Well, Halifax, they've travelled today.
Bezic goes left, driven in by Jacob Emmett, inside the 30. Bezic runs out of dummy half again, the short ball. Ashton Sims with the offload as well. He's got support there, so Toronto looking bright and breezy in these early stages. 10 metres away. What's the referee given here? He's stopped the clock.
I don't know what he's given here.
Well, the touch judge is on. Touch judge is on. Well, he's having a word. It's going to be a penalty for Toronto.
I think a support runner was held off the ball. Maybe McCrone makes a play there. That's the end product.
Well, it's a tap restart. So Toronto will get another set of 6. And it's as you were, because it's taken in by Ashton Sims, 10 metres out. Bezic comes running to this right-hand side. Back it comes now, and into the line is Blake Wallace, who's over. Has he managed to put it down? No, the referee says held up.
In fact, scrambled well. Grady got there. Sharp was in the mix as well. Heaton trying to make the play on Wallace, who attacked the line.
So Bezic spins left again. Briley now looking for the runners, pops it back on the inside. Here's Bezic again. We're having a giggle because we could hardly see the field. There's so many cameramen in front of us. Briley with the ball to that left-hand side, and Buchanan is that who's going to try and... no, it's not. It's a drive towards the line, which is going to be held up. Corey Patterson is put down. Back to Briley. Briley with a pass away. A little dummy shown by Bussey, who again is over the line, but again he's not able to put it down, so they'll have to go back 10 once more. Keeping the pressure on here on Halifax. Bussey to Bezic, goes behind Lussick. The kick is high from Briley. They're looking for it. That's a good leap though. Is that Saltonstall who got over there?
Saltonstall, I think. Dropped the ball.
Ben Heaton
feed Wolfpack again. Dan Heaton,
Well, the pressure remains here. Head and feed. Here's the reason why.
It was Saltonstall going for it, wasn't it?
It was Heaton's hands. I think it came through in the end.
You might be right. It was Heaton.
So,
early pressure from the Wolfpack.
Head and feed. Here, another 6 tackles, unless they score or drop the ball. Referee's not happy with the scrum. We're going back to this here. So the opening 3 minutes has been all Toronto so far. First set was Halifax's. They couldn't get too far downfield. The kick has given Toronto this position. They're working on it now. Briley looking towards the middle again, and the offload. Trying to get Hickson away, but Hickson is put down just a couple of steps away from where he wants to be. Emmett's pawing the ground. Here he comes, Jake Emmett now, settling things in again. So a platform set here. Bezic spins it left, and Darcy Lussick,
that's a try,
on his league debut. His Toronto league debut crashes over for a popular try. He likes it, and his teammates love it too.
Well, there's no secret to this one. Hit the line as hard as you can, find a hole in between 2 defenders, and bang, Bezic sees him coming, gives him the ball, and boom, there you go. Straight through the Halifax defenders. Will Mayer couldn't get in his way. I think it's Griggs the other one, but it's just, he's the lead-up play from Jake Emmett. I don't quite see the resulting play.
So 4-0, good early settler, as we mentioned. It was a struggle against Halifax in that opening game, wasn't it? Halifax really put up a big battle.
It was a cracking game, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And is that in the back of Toronto's mind here coming out? Well, let's put our authority on the game as quickly as we possibly can.
It'd be nice to have that happen, you know. There's another 77 minutes or 75 minutes where Halifax will have their say in this game. They're a good team as well, but absolutely it's good to get a start like that on the back of their first defensive set and then controlling the ball in that part of the field.
So Ryan Briley just settling himself here. It should be fairly straightforward, and is between the sticks, and it means that Toronto now lead by 6 points to 0.
Stop me if you can. That's basically the equation there, and they couldn't. Straight through Griggs and Mayer.
How's he settling in, by the way? Darcy Lussick. Obviously quite well.
Coming from the beaches of Manly and the hot Sydney weather, but he had his debut last week in the Challenge Cup up at Barrow.
Yep.
Which was probably a culture shock for him in relation to the weather that he experienced. Another week's training, so he'll be hopefully getting better and better.
If he thought that was a culture shock last week, he should have been there for the league game against Barrow. That would have been a culture shock. Only 2 games that Toronto have failed to win so far this season. That was one of them, that league game at Barrow. That was a draw. They have lost one as well against London in the capital, not that far away from here, 47-16, but apart from that, it's 9 wins out of 11 for Toronto, hence their place at the top of the championship table. Halifax in 5th. They had a chance to go 4th, but it would have required London losing today against Dewsbury, but they didn't. London beat Dewsbury 64-6. Toulouse cementing their place in the top 4, 62-8 winners at Swinton. So at the end of this weekend, the top 4 will remain as it was. Ryan Briley's kick for touch is just a little awkward for Sharp, but he's able to take it on the bounce easily enough in the end. Briley chases his own efforts to get that in and pinch the ball back. And Toronto have possession once more here.
Well, just not the start the Halifax wanted. Sharps build his lollies there and drop the ball and give Toronto field position again on the back of a good Briley kick.
McCrone goes left. Step from Blake Wallace, playing at fullback today, of course, who's held up 10 metres away. Quentin Lola Togagai has moved to Halifax in his last couple of weeks, but gentleman's agreement, he's not playing today. It's just a big effort to close to that line again, and a swivel and a swerve, but it's just going to be held up here.
I thought it was over there, Bezic.
So Sims goes in at dummy half. McCrone left to Patterson, and Patterson puts the step on, but he's 5 out when he's pulled down, maybe a little less than that. There's only one play to go here for Toronto. What's it going to be? It's going to be a kick towards the goal line, but it's well intercepted at his feet by Simon Griggs, the very experienced and highly talented Simon Griggs, and Halifax have it back.
Halifax survived their great defence. They had to do, gave away a little bit of field position, roll their sleeves up, going to ruck the ball out now.
Out it comes with Brandon Moore, the dummy half on that occasion. Motors back into position here. They've not really had the ball outside their own 40 so far, haven't Halifax, so they've been looking for a good finish to this set to maybe try and put a bit of pressure on the Toronto team defensively. Struggle going on, but eventually it is played by Fairbank. Now the kick comes downfield from Scott Morrell, angling it. The bounce holds it up a little bit, but picked up safely by Pownall. Drops it back in for Wallace, but he's well met by those Halifax defenders.
Good bit of pressure on Morrell, but great set from Halifax there into the game. You can see they're getting warm. They were a bit clunky to start with, but
well, they've kept it alive here. Good work from Bussey. Bezic across there. Andy Ackers on the bench, so they've got that old 1-2 again in the dummy half position. Have Toronto. Patterson takes it just inside Halifax's half. Ashton Sims again, straightens up, pops it back. Patterson's there. McCrone goes left. Little sway of the hips to pass it on to Rawsthorne, who's picking a path here against his former side. Halifax lad, Nick Rawsthorne, scored against them earlier this year. Bezic, another ex-Halifax player, runs into trouble. So the last play here in this set, Emmett, the dummy half. Briley with a kick. Oh, it's knocked backwards. Can Toronto make anything of this? Well, they're doing some acrobatics and thrilling handling skills here. It comes back to Briley to kick across. Kay's over there. They've isolated the man out there. Kay then picks a pass between two more and manages to drag himself over. Wow, what a finish from Liam Kay. Shift right, shift left, and Toronto get over.
Well, it's never said. That's the end result. That's a Briley kick. He's picked out Kay. 3 white jumpers and 1 black one there for the boy Heaton, so he's not going to defend that. Kay too strong, but on the back of Pownall finds a keeping the ball alive. Patterson keeps the ball alive. Briley lifts his head and finds a pinpoint kiss for Liam Kay to crash and bash over his way of the line. Here's Pownall. There's Lussick. Now Briley. Now the kick, now the leap, and now the finish. And unfortunately, Halifax at 6s and 7s there.
Well, they're under pressure at the moment, the Yorkshire side. They're under the pump because Toronto have set off at a real pace here. Halifax have not had a play the ball inside their opponent's half so far.
And that's a reflection because of and it started with the first defensive set of the Wolfpack, who's very dominant. They've put Morrell under pressure. They've warmed into the game of Halifax, trying to get themselves a foothold, and they will at some stage, but you have to say that the first 10 minutes has been all Toronto.
So Ryan Briley has his second kickable conversion of the game. 10-0 his side lead at the moment. Here he comes, and he has put it over, so 2 out of 2 for Ryan Briley, and 12-0 Toronto lead with less than 11 minutes played.
Well, there's the first one. Great tip back from Higson, keeping the ball alive. Pownall has to be aware and finds a ball to Lussick, gets it to Wallace. Briley a bit of room, keep their shape on the fringes, the Toronto team.
Well, they're supping ale in the VIP suites here, but they're playing Champagne Rugby League on the field, and here they go again. Liam Kay off on his travels. Rawsthorne's out there in support. A step back on the inside. Well, tackle one from the kickoff sees Toronto already 5 inside the Halifax half. Here comes Liam Kay again, bursting forward.
What a start.
Bezic, the dummy half. Emmett, back to Briley. Here's Wallace now. Wallace with a little dummy. They're less than 10 metres away. 3 tackles gone, 3 to come. They've already covered 90 metres. Can Toronto go the distance again here? Briley looking to open up the Halifax defence. Bezic. Briley's right behind him. Bezic spinning it left to McCrone. A step back on the inside by the Aussie, who's almost ripping a hole through that Halifax defence. Quickly played. It's too quickly played. The referee sees a knock-on in that. So first mistake, I think, that from Toronto so far today.
On play 5, so probably acceptable. Head and feed Halifax. They should Waters them, regroup their thoughts. Look to get in right from the start. Remember where this set started. Right at the other end of the field from a kick-off. Super play from the Wolfpack.
Well, just track the geography of the Wolfpack over the next couple of weeks. You are back to Canada next week, aren't you? For a game, not at Lamport, but still in Toronto, just on the fringes of Toronto against Swinton.
Fletcher's Field, which is a different venue for the Lamport to be finished. It's renovation.
So Canadians watching, make a note of that. And then the week after that, wow, what a challenge. Toronto Wolfpack in the 6th round of the Rugby League Challenge Cup. They've been playing for the Challenge Cup since 1896, and a Canadian team involved for the very first time in a couple of weeks, and what a challenge as well. They're playing the Wolves. It's the Wolves against the Wolfpack. Warrington Wolves against the Toronto Wolfpack in a couple of weeks. So a couple of real momentous occasions coming up for the Torontonians. But there's a big occasion here for Halifax. They need to dig their way back into this contest. They've had nothing so far.
Forced error again.
Ball lost again, carried forward by Grady, and down it goes. And Toronto quickly looking to set up an attack here. Referee, I think, says we'll take
Hickson went behind.
Original. Oh, is it? Yeah.
There's just an injury. I think it's Steve Tyra. I think Grady dropped the ball on a tackle from Bussey. He's just gone behind there, so it's first offence, so it's come from the scrum. So there was a free play. There was an infringement involved, but I think Tyra's got himself a bit hurt here.
You sound like if there was an infringement on the free play, the penalty stood. Clearly not. Clearly not. But it's head and feet to Toronto from the original knock-on. Richard Marshall, the Halifax coach, looking out there. He'll be a little concerned with the way this game has started. He'll be looking for his team to dig their heels in soon. If they concede a third here in the next minute or so, then that really does spell danger. And here's Wallace testing their resolve with that left-footed step, and almost carried out towards the touchline, but held in the field of play. Kay spins it back. Patterson on the inside. Emmett now straightens up again. 10 away. They're all got their hands in the air. They all want the ball here. Lussack is one of those, but it's back to Briley. Short to Bussey. Bussey. There's real hard work for the Halifax defence here. They've been tested at every turn, putting a lot of energy. Bezic throws the dummy. Over it goes. Bob Bezic, the old veteran, knew it was coming, knew it was there. Teased the defence and then plunges over. Third try of the day, 16-0.
Well, this is all about the movement around him. There's so much under pressure here. They get a quick play of the ball with Bussey. And unfortunately, Fairbanks looking at what might happen outside him because of the movement, and Bob sees that. And there's the play beforehand. Bussey gets the quick play of the ball at the line, scrambling around the Halifax defence. Gets a quick play of the ball. Bob Bezic jumps out. Fairbanks goes to the wrong person, and Mayer again can't stop the momentum.
Wow. I mean, we have to emphasise this is a very good Halifax team. This is a real redoubtable Halifax team they're up against here, Toronto, but they are ripping them apart. Underline, this is no easy beats they're up against today. So that underlines the quality of the start that the Wolfpack have made here. And Briley will be very grateful that this is his third conversion, and again it's under the sticks, so it just helps with keeping those tins ticking over. Over it goes, third out of 3 attempts, and it's 18 points to 0. Toronto are scoring at more than a point a minute here.
Well, here's the play of the ball from Bussey, gets off the ground. Bezic, lots of deception. Dummies in effect. Young Fairbank, Jacob Fairbank, and he's over the line.
We always say this about hookers, but I wonder what the average yards covered to score tries is down the careers, because Bob Bezic will have scored tries like that many, many times from only a couple of yards away. But they all count. You can go 100 yards, you can go 1 yard. You still only get 4 points. Lussick's head snaps back in the ferocity of the challenge there that came from those 3 Halifax defenders. They know they need to dig in here. Emmett, they need to slow Toronto down if they can. Bezic to Sims. Sims was looking for the collision there, wasn't he? Looking to test out one of his opponents.
Taking a bit of juice out of this Halifax middle.
Lussick.
Again.
Good carry, but that's the 5th. They'll finish a set here. Toronto a good 40 metres away. Briley puts an attacking kick up there. Will Sharp is underneath it. It would have felt like him an age before that ball came down and hit his chest. And in that time, the Toronto defenders are up quickly to make the tackle. They don't need to make a mistake here. They've been guilty of putting themselves under pressure, Halifax.
Yeah, they dropped the ball a couple of times in their own half, which puts you under pressure. And exactly the recipe probably Richard Marshall had at the start of this game in his mind.
Conor McGrath, who carried that ball in on that occasion, the young red-headed player. I'm told he's a former British under-16 wrestling champion. It's one of those facts, you just wonder whether someone's pulling your leg or not, but I think he is. I think it's genuine. Saltonstall wanted to get into dummy half. He's not going to get there. It's Moore instead who flicks it across, and here they come. The pressure is on, though, but they've ridden that pressure well, and they have an opportunity here to make some ground. Tyra, net like for like by Johnny Powell. The ball's lost. The referee says no, it wasn't, it was stolen, and Halifax get a much needed penalty here.
Yeah, it's a good break. They're very aggressive with a Wolfpack defence in trying to stop this play. Tyra's coming out there. Pownell with a good tackle, adjudicated to spent too much time in that tackle.
Hint of a second effort there as well. Johnston with the tap. So what can they do? Fairbank's pass away is helped along the line by Brandon Moore, but it's gone backwards. It got a Halifax hand on it as well. Sorry, a Toronto hand on it as well, so it'll be another set. Here's Johnston. Taken in by Grix. Quickly up a dummy half. The former Castleford youngster. Moore with a pass. That's wonderful from Morrell. Really soft hands from him. Butler came flying onto it. Morrell's been left on the ground, injured and hurt. Halifax carry on without him. Now they have Johnston with a pass out to Tyra. Tyra can't wriggle his way through those chasing Toronto defenders. Referee's going to stop the clock eventually, because I think he's seen that there is an injury back there. It is Scott Morrell, isn't it? Who took a bash. Yeah, there he is.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's hard to get out of that one.
A little bit of dentistry work there provided by Corey Patterson. Well, free of charge.
There's nothing illegal in it.
No. So Scott Morrell, who's been around a while, hasn't he? Leeds and Hulkingston Rovers, I think. Yeah.
Smart footballer.
You'd suggest Hulkar was his the defining part of his career so far, but he's got a big influence here at Halifax down the years as well. Richard Marshall is certainly a defining influence on this Halifax club. He's had them as real contenders over the last few years, getting into the middle eights when many didn't fancy them at the start of the season, but his coaching and his players have got them on the edge of potential promotion. Scott Morrell still a little shaken. It's hard to get players off the field, though, isn't it? Rugby league players.
Well, no, not Scott. Tough kid. Good player.
He might not carry the next one in, but he won't be far away thereafter. It's Moore who goes right. It's dropped, but backwards. Sharp picks up and has a little look around here, Will Sharp, and a wonderful little ball away to McGrath. Conor McGrath trying to poke his nose through things there, but trapdoor of big arms wrap around him, put him down. Slowish play the ball, back it comes Johnston opposite to a couple, and now it's Fairbank. Great family pedigree, of course, Jacob Fairbank. Uncles and dad who've played this game at all kinds of levels. Lovely little chip through, and it's picked up well here by Pownall, and he's managed to keep in the field of play.
He was on his game, wasn't he? It was a super kick from Johnson, wasn't it? And Johnny Pownall had to be quick as a flash to clean that up out the backfield, and now it's Halifax's turn to apply some pressure, try and restrict the territory of the Wolfpack.
3 tackles gone. Ashton Sims on carry 4 will just expose a little bit of a dent over that 20-metre mark. Bezic at dummy half, back in the middle again. Just gobbling up the yards here if they can through the big fellas. Emmett plays it, but they're on the 6 here, so McCrone with the duty of kicking downfield. Saltonstall underneath it will catch it safely enough, runs it back over the 20 and up to the 30, where he'll meet with resistance, and Halifax start.
Well,
from
good
here.
defensive set from Halifax there. Themselves restricting the to Toronto territory and finding themselves now just inside their own half on play 3. The benefits of working really hard in defence.
Trying to meet and match and resist here, the Toronto defence, but Halifax digging their way back into the contest. Fairbanks pass away and a step inside by Johnston. Another once of Castleford, and also York as well, young Ben Johnston. He was Player of the Year in League One a couple of years ago. But 5 tackles gone. Here comes the 6. Moore. Johnston. Up to the line and just puts it through, and there's a chase on here. Oh, the ball just bounces away from Conor McGrath.
Wow.
A little more backspin on that, and McGrath's in there.
Well, it's a smart play. Johnson's clearly got his kicking boots on today. And just couldn't quite bring it back. McGrath was looking to scoop it up and try and get it over the line. Wallace was in attendance, but it would have been a one-on-one.
Yep. Also, I was reading about Conor McGrath. When he was 14 years of age, he saved a couple of kids out of a fire. He stood outside a window and caught them as they were thrown out of the blazing house. So he's a hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Head and feed here for Toronto. Referee Liam Moore, making his name in Super League as well these days, Liam Moore. And Toronto moseying their way back downfield again, if they can. Pick up out of dummy half by Johnny Pownall. 25 up. 2 tackles gone. Halifax have put the brakes on just a little here, but Rawsthorpe looks to find 4th gear again for the Canadians if he can. Throws away the defender. Griggs not happy. Here's McCrone, puts it back to Briley. Briley now, quick hands. Stops because Hickson finds that McGrath is right in his face and slows him down just enough to make sure another couple can come in and help out with the heavy-duty defending. Emmett. You can hear the clatter of limbs and muscles as they collide. Hickson's hurt. He's just down on his haunches for the moment. Briley, though, with a kick towards touch, looking for that old game management aspect. Oh, the ball, one of those strange rugby league bounces that almost hits the line but comes in. Still not a bad finish because Sharp's got a lot of work to do even to get there.
And he's dangerously sharp in the backfield, give him a bit of space. Here's McGrath again. Strong carries from the backfield from Halifax as well, trying to get themselves back into this game.
Brendan Moore on the inside. Saltonstall getting himself involved as well here. Italian international James Saltonstall. It's a big effort forward again. Collect from dummy half by Moore, who's almost slipping his way through here. Moore doing really well, and he's got support from Johnston, but instead he chose to pass.
Well, that's Ashton Sims.
To Ashton Sims.
17.5 stone and 6'3", and in a white jumper. And thankfully he was for the Wolfpack. It was a terrific break from this Halifax team, coming to terms with the game. Straight up the middle, couldn't find the right person.
Bussey stepping inside again and doing well to find a position in the end just inside the Halifax half. It's Bezic Remember that clock down at the bottom left-hand corner is a guide to where we're at. It's not the official clock, but about 17 minutes left to play. The way things have started in this game, I think Halifax very pleased that they've restricted Toronto to no scores in the last 9 minutes. Kay held up on the 5th. So on the 6th, McCrone has to hurry. Good pressure coming in towards him from Heaton. And where's that going to go? It's going to go dead. It's not a great kick in the end because it's a tap back on the 20. 7 tackles.
Well, a bit more juice now for this Halifax team. Sharp trying to get him on the front foot. Extra tackle, remember, from the kick that went out in goal.
He was down here originally, wasn't he? Will Sharp, Harlequins. I think he started there, didn't he? He played at Hull and Featherstone. That ball has been stolen, the referee says. So penalty for Halifax. Well, that will lift their spirits, because the next set should be starting at about, or maybe beyond, the halfway line. Lots of arms in there.
Well, the referee was closer than we were and adjudicates that was a strip.
Here's Morell's kick.
Another opportunity for Halifax to show their attacking prowess. And the Wolfpack half.
Shane Grady, another London Bronco player, will take that tap, and first man in is James Green, who tries to offload, and Emmett was in the way of it again. So
well, Emmett sniffed it, and that's a poor error from James Green. Was trying to get the team rolling. Tackle one from a penalty. You're trying to get back in the game. You understand his mentality, but Emmett was on the ball for the offload and did real well in the end.
Well, the lack of completion from Halifax today is really punishing them. They make mistakes with ball in hand, and has given Toronto cheap possession and on occasions good position. 15 to go in this first half. Bezic. 3 to his left, the majority to his right. That's the way he goes. Here's Sidlow, fresh from the interchange bench. One play in the set. Brierley, chase came out, but Brierley gets the kick high in the air. It's safe enough by McGrath, and Toronto up there quickly to make that tackle count. Here's Sharp again. Desperate for yards here, Halifax. Desperate for a point or two as well.
Two tough teams. They're not giving any quarter, are they?
Saltonstall, Sharp. Got the arm free. Couldn't quite get it free enough to get the pass away to Johnston. Otherwise, Johnson might have nibbled out an extra 10, 15 metres downfield. Green. This time keeps hold. Moore. Grix with the inside pass. Red on that occasion by Hopkins, pulling down Morris. Elliot Morris, now the kick towards the touchline. Wallace should have that covered, and does, and a nice step that almost gathers a hold.
Did well, fielded the ball, left foot step, got in between the hole.
So they shift it left. Here's Ashton Sims. He'll be looking forward to that Warrington Cup time more than most, I would have thought, because as an ex-Warrington player, he's going back. That was a forward pass. Not given. Bezic, McCrone, and on comes Patterson. Left channel. Rawsthorne drifting back towards the middle. Last play again. Rawsthorne was hoping there might have been a penalty there. McCrone's kick this time to that left-hand touchline, and out it goes. Efficient stuff. So Halifax will get it back, but only 10 from their own line.
And they're in the game now, aren't they, Halifax? You can tell they're sensing, they're making a bit of activity in and around the ruck, actually. Their dummy half running is, if anything, the closest to calling the Toronto team a little bit of a problem, so they're going to have to need to be aware of that, but I think they're over the start. What a start.
Yeah. Well, on balance, they needed that start, didn't they, Toronto? Because, as you said, Halifax will compete, will get back in the game, and they are in terms of the arm wrestle that we're watching at the moment, but they aren't in terms of the scoreboard as it reads. 18-0 to the Toronto Wolfpack. Home advantage for the Wolfpack here today, of course, in sunny London. Battered in by Shane Grady. Ray Noble's looking for the sun, but as a Yorkshireman, that's what he spends most days doing, looking for the sun.
That's when you're best.
That's one of the best. I'd hate to hear the worst, Brian. It's going to be more from dummy half. They're just making a bit of progress. Fairbank up to his feet. And a step back and inside by Johnston again. We'll be going down to hear from Matt in just a second to get some information down on the touchline. But let's watch this set to its conclusion. Penalty against Toronto. Offside. So I think they'll be kicking for touch here, so while they do, let's hear from Matt. Matt, what have you got to tell us down there?
Well, there's plenty of injuries down here. Start from Halifax perspective, Stephen Tyra's been in the wars. He's struggling a little bit now. That was a concussion assessment test. The card didn't go up, so he will be assessed, just to clarify that. A few other players struggling as well. Scott Morrell's took a knock of some sort to his face. He stayed down and he's apparently in some discomfort. And then from a Toronto perspective, near to us, Adam Hickson has seemingly been struggling. He seems to be okay. He's a tough cookie, is Adam Hickson, but a few to watch out for there, Dave.
Cheers, Matt. Here we come out of dummy half. It's taken by Grady. They go back to the middle. Johnston. Oh, it's a knock on again. I think that might have been Fairbank who couldn't quite get safe hands on that. And Toronto will be ready to get head and feet here.
Yeah, the author of their own downfall at the moment, Halifax. They're finding a field position. Jacob drops that one, Jacob Fairbank, man, in their own half, so probably topping the error count as well. So Coach Marshall, plenty of things to get towards half-time and improve for the team, but they look dangerous when they're in those positions. They'll be reasonably confident that they can cause some trouble, but you have to say that this Wolfpack team too are pretty resolute in defence.
Yeah, there seems a real focus here today, doesn't there, from Toronto? Real kind of...
Both teams, Dave.
Yeah.
You have to say, irrespective, other than the start, you can see Halifax are cock-a-hoop in relation to what they've done and what they haven't done.
This is the aforementioned Adam Hickson. Briley. Again, it's the bruising efforts to try and earn these yards that Toronto have to produce. Sidlow. It's 3 gone. Grady slowing it down as much as he could afford to there. And here comes Sam Hopkins, who's on the halfway line. There's a couple of tackles to go. Sidlow to that right-hand side. And the offload. Ackers, who's on the field, as you can see. Keeps it going. Hopkins, he tries the offload. There might have been a Halifax hand there. There was. Ackers goes sprinting away and has support as well. Terrific support from Ryan Briley. That's what he does. Burns up the field with that electrifying pace, but it was Ackers who created it all there. Sharp thinking, sharp running. Great support play, try number 4.
It was the Hopkins offload that Josh McCrone tipped onto Ackers, who's found himself in the clear, found his hands free. Briley on the fly, underneath the sticks. Sam Hopkins with a speck of Josh McCrone with a little tap back as well to release Andy Ackers, who's full of speed and full of pace, and so's that bloke. That's a counter punch of some proportions, because they just worked themselves back into the game, this Halifax team.
They're going to find themselves, you would think, 24 behind when this kick is completed, because Ryan Briley for the 4th time today, right in front of the sticks. So more easy points for him to pick up, but he's earned this kicking position with the try he's just scored. So he's already on 10 points himself here, Ryan Briley. Little puff of the cheeks. He's ready to go. Johnny Pownall down on the sideline is getting a bit of treatment, I think, just a check on how he's going. So Briley, well, there you can see, right in front of the sticks. Doesn't waste the opportunity. 24 points to 0. The Canadian flag is flying high again.
He's quick, he's Andy Ackers. Gets his hands free as well, which is a special part of that. And Ryan Briley complements what everybody else has done there by finishing the play.
So 8 minutes of the half remaining. Scott Morrell's back out there with this restart. Briley with a catch. Sidlow with a carry. And here Toronto go again, and Halifax again have this this task of stopping momentum, building upon momentum here. Back-to-back tries was the feature of the early stages of this game. The Wolfpack would love to do that again, so Halifax know they've got to apply the brakes if they can. Hopkins Here's Ackers. Step in by Pownall. Ackers with a one-handed pickup, and he's off sharp again. Hopkins left one in his wake, makes it up to the 40-metre mark. The next tackle is the last, so they'll go for the kick here. Briley's just to his right-hand side. Out comes Grix to try and close him down. Briley's kick takes a deflection, and he's picked up on an offside position.
It's all going wrong for Halifax, isn't it? Lucky ricochet. I think it's Grix that's offside. He picks the ball up. It's the back of the Wolfpack dominance. They're physically dominant, in and around the middle. They're finding their front, playing the ball quickly.
So Ryan Briley finds a touchline, and Toronto find the front foot again here. Tap restart from 12 away. They'll be hoping to take the scoreline to around 30 before the half-time break. They've got an opportunity again here. Blake Wallace, 5 out when he's put down, gets up and plays it. Eventually, back it comes to Lussick, who's already opened his Toronto account. It's just a stride away again, and a little dummy by Ackers, and it's the second try out of dummy half of the game. And that was a big, big hole for him to exploit there. I don't think Halifax will be too pleased watching that again. But it is a 5th try here for Toronto.
Well, it's the same again. Lussick piling into 3 Halifax defenders. Gets off the ground, beats them off the ground. Andy Ackers dummies one way, gets himself underneath, and well played, Andy Ackers. Spotted his opportunity. Here you go, there's the big dummy, and that is a big hole. So he can't fill it, unfortunately. Chester Butler left on his own in many respects, with a lot of space to defend, and he's going to take that opportunity every day of the week.
Yeah, the defender who was involved there in the tackle kind of ran round the back of the ruck, didn't he, to leave that hole there. So it was, as you said, well read by Ackers. You've got to see the opportunity to take the opportunity. Brayley's adding points to his name, his own personal tally. They enjoy this ground. When they came here last year and played the London Skolars Toronto, they ran up a big score that day. Fast track and all of that. And they are running up a big score so far here today, as Brayley's kick goes over his 5th success now of the afternoon. 30 points to 0.
There's the big one. Mr. Butler on his own there.
To Andy Ackers, the goal to Ryan Briley, and it's Toronto 30, Halifax 0. Let's have a guess how.
Toronto PA announcer encouraging the crowd to howl. Good stuff. 30-0, and about 4 minutes of the half remaining.
Well, they're struggling a little bit here, Halifax, and that's been the weight of possession and prowess and athletic ability of this, and size of this Wolfpack team. And they've not helped themselves, really. There's been a few errors that's made it a little bit harder for them on their day.
Sidlow with the offload, Briley with the juggling act, but he's lost it. It's taken on by Johnston, and suddenly he's through and skirting away, and he, as he's caught the pass to Conor McGrath, and McGrath doesn't let opportunities like that slip between his grasp, and Halifax finally do stem the flow, and they do get a try on the board before half-time.
Well done, Halifax. Sidlow trying to put Briley through a hole. He can't collect it. Ben Johnson does, and he's gone. And McGrath's on his shoulder as well, because he's got to get there. He's been chased out by Pownall. Does really well to get there. Great finish from McGrath. Well, give them a little bit of hope, this Halifax team. We've been...
Shane Grady to kick this. Richard Marshall there watching on. Here he is, Shane Grady. This lad by birth. He's another one who's been down here playing at London Broncos and Dewsbury. Well, the try scored out wide, so it's a difficult-ish kick here for the left-footed kicker. Kind of drawing the ball naturally across the face of the stick, so he has to get this angle absolutely spot on, which he's not, and so it remains at 30 points to 4.
Well, here you go. Briley can't get the ball in. Johnson's off to the races. Johnny Pownall does really well to try and track him down, but McGrath helped him out there and been on his left-hand shoulder. A little bit of hope for this Halifax team.
So they're off the 0. 4 points for Halifax, 30 for the Wolfpack. Half-time looms. Darkness beginning to descend. And they're back in possession. Green gets up and plays it, and here comes Sultan Stall, who runs into a rather animated wall that was a little too muscular and challenging. I think the referee's pointing at Corey Patterson.
I think it was a shoulder charge. He's pulled him for here.
There's a kick from Morel.
Be sure to visit Caveman Breweries in the fan zone for the best craft beers and ciders. The party doesn't
That was the
stop
aftermath of that big collision.
will remain open for another hour.
So Morel stands and waits. Early in the count here for Halifax. Well, they're beginning to look a little bright here as Simon Grix takes it in. Less than 10 inside the Toronto half. They've got tackles, though, to come here. Johnston again with a little slid kick. McGrath's after that, but it's well reeled in by Blake Wallace.
A lot of pressure there. Clearly worked on that through the week. You can see that short kicking game of Johnson is trying to get the fullback out of position. Not the usual fullback for the Wolfpack. Blake Wallace new to it, trying to cop them out of position.
Just wonder if they've been picking the brains of QLT this week. What's the weakness here, Quentin? Not playing today, of course, QLT. There's an ambitious ball, and even further, and here comes Kay. Well, just didn't fancy taking on Heaton on the outside, had to cut back in.
But I think he made the right decision. Didn't want to tempt the sidelines there. Nice expansion from the Wolfpack, trying to create the opportunities.
So the clock down below, not official, but we can see that we're moving into stoppage time now. The kick from McCrone is just watched out of play by Will Sharp. No need to take a gamble, and that will be that. At the end of what has been a very good first half, certainly from Toronto's point of view. Halifax guilty of making quite a few errors in there, but Toronto have been terrific in their execution, Brian Noble.
Well, I think right from the off they were very physical. They were very dominant, their line speed was good, and it was hard for Halifax, and there's not too much difference between these two teams, trust me, Dave. You look at the rosters and you look at the depth of squad that Halifax have got. It's just that this Wolfpack 17 have come out with the intention of being physical, being clinical, kicking well. They've done all the things right.
Absolutely, 5 tries scored in that first half for the Toronto side. They scored 3 in the opening 14 minutes, and it all started with a score from Darcy Lussack after only 4 minutes, and he's down there talking now with Matt Shaw.
Darcy, a debut, a league debut and a try. You must be absolutely delighted with that, and also the team performance so far.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I don't get too many tries, so happy with that, and the team's going good. So first time on 4G's pitch, and it's working well so far.
How have you found playing in the occasion as well? Obviously a bit different to what you'll be used to.
Yeah, it was great to start with the anthems and everything like that. It's a big change to what I'm used to, but I'm loving it, and it's even better when you win it.
You're absolutely flying at the minute, though. What's been the key to the first half success?
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about that. We weren't that happy with our performance last week, so we just tried to come out and start fast, and I think we did.
Cheers, Darcy.
So the Wolfpack fast starters here. 5 tries in the opening half an hour. Halifax have got 1 back, but it's Toronto in the driving seat. We're back with analysis after this.
Time to get up now.
FIA World Rallycross Championship, live on Free Sports. Live and free on Free Sports.
I'm Dan, and I'm his data self. He's a physical manifestation of my financial history. He's what companies see when they're deciding whether to offer me credit. And if I need a loan or a credit card, he'll show me what I can get. To us.
To us. Oh, yeah.
He even helped us move into a bigger place.
We needed the space.
Get to know your data self with Experian.
No.
Everything I do, I'm inspired by nature. My name is Brooke. I'm an artist in the film industry. I spend a lot of time researching texture references. Bing's this amazing feature. You zoom in and it comes up with related images. Did dinosaurs have feathers? I've asked it a question and it's given me an intelligent answer. That is going to be very useful.
In a way, it's all a matter of time. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time for you.
Lloyds Bank, by your side.
Start fit, hard fit, wet fit, get fit, slim fit, gram fit. Yes, I am fit. Stay fit, pay fit, last 4 days fit. Peak fit, sleep fit, better sleep fit. Slide fit, fly fit, say goodbye fit. Win the day fit, home free play fit. Namaste fit, fit for all fit.
There are so many reasons I love my SketchNet sketchers. The soft, breathable knit, air-cooled memory foam, undeniably solid.
SketchNet with air-cooled memory foam.
Julian, the sooner you... Oh, no.
Perfect.
So, some bozos dented your vehicle.
Julian, could have been anyone.
Him.
Them.
Marigold.
Anyway, you're probably thinking they wiped out your no-claim discount. But you're with Direct Line and you're not to blame. So unlike other insurers, you can claim and your no-claim discount is safe. I'll leave you leverage to it.
When an accident happens, time stops and you question everything.
Who'll pick up the kids? What about work?
Injury Lawyers for You will help you get the compensation you deserve. So, if you've had an accident that wasn't your fault, what happens next? Injury Lawyers for You.
Why did you choose to teach?
Morning, ladies. How are we doing this morning?
Je me réveille.
You may begin now. Rishik is just going to have to be really brave.
Oui, no, almost.
There's a sneaky little multiply sign in there. I know that you can do it. Excellent, Rishik. That's why I choose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search Apply to Teach. At Expedia, if you book your flight and your hotel together, you could save. Expedia. Atoll protected.
PPI deadline.
Make a decision. Do it now! Shh. No, you shush. Click the link that says the Financial Conduct Authority. I also need your glasses.
The Financial Conduct Authority has everything you need to know about PPI. Visit fca.org.uk/PPI or call 0800 101 8800.
Citroen C4 Cactus, featuring suspension with progressive hydraulic cushions by Citroen, because your life is hectic enough.
Citroën.
Time to get up now.
Welcome back. We're seeing an international occasion here, by the way. This is the England-Canadian Tag Team International that is taking place at half-time. So it's a growing participation sport is tag rugby league. So there's a lot of ways you can play rugby league without it being too rough and tough. This is one of them. There's the Masters Rugby League for the over 35s, but I'm not sure who's winning, but they're all having fun. I don't think they have a full-time score. I think it's 0-0. It's officially 0-0 at the end of every game.
I love this tag concept, though. Women and men playing together, the enjoyment of the social activity as well. This is clearly serious with it being an international, but everybody gets. And you know what? That's one of the mission statements of the Wolfpack: putting balls in kids' hands and anybody's hands. Anybody wants to play the great game of rugby.
Yeah. Have you ever played it? Have you ever tried this?
Yeah, I got sent off. Yeah, I did. Yeah, how would you get sent off at tag rugby? It's shocking, isn't it? I'm ashamed. I should be ashamed of myself. I was arguing with the referee. I couldn't believe a decision. He said I threw a forward pass, and I didn't. Yeah. So I think there's a big crowd there. I think it was quite funny for them to make sure to get my marching orders.
Well, I've played it a couple of times. I'll tell you what, it's blooming hard, isn't it? Aerobically.
Hard.
Aerobically.
Your engine creaks.
You got to be very fit. But I'd still rather play tag than this version that we're about to see these fellas, because this is hard aerobically and tough on the body as well. Halifax coming out for this second half. It's been an interesting day. If you're an expansionist, you'll have enjoyed today, because earlier on, Toulouse, the French side, winning 62-8 at Swinton. London Broncos certainly off the Heartland beating Dewsbury 64 points to 6. And over in Perpignan this afternoon, Catalan Dragons have beaten Hull. I think it's 25-24 at the end. A Tony Gigot drop goal right at the end. So two French sides and London winning so far today against Swinton, Dewsbury and Hull respectively. Can the Toronto Wolfpack make it 4 out of 4 for the expansion teams? We shall see. You'd certainly make them as heavy favourites at the start of this second half, but it's a case of keeping their focus and keeping their foot on the floor.
Defensively as well, you're right. The Wolfpack don't concede many points, you know. They're a tough team defensively, and they'll want to reinforce that reputation in the second half. And I think they've been quite clinical in the first half. The execution of their skill, some of their skill, certainly on the second try, was outstanding.
Well, referee Mr. Moore, Liam Moore out there, just checking that's all as it should be. The bloke with the yellow t-shirt, if you're wondering what he's doing, he's just going to take the kicking tee off once we've restarted. We're not got an extra player in an odd-coloured shirt out there. Well, who are we waiting for? Who are we waiting for? Let's get it underway. Here we go. Scott Morrell rather with that kick as Liam Moore blows his whistle, and Sidlow will bring it back for the Wolfpack, and they will start 15 metres out from their own line. Ackers in possession. You remember the way the first half started, and Halifax barely got to touch the ball, and Lussick was driving over with only 4 minutes played. Well, Halifax will hope that they've learnt from that and can get through this initial set, restricting Toronto to the bare minimum. Taken in by Higson. Ackers out of dummy half. McCrone tosses it away to Patterson, who puts a big hand into the chest of the advancing defender. Solid hit.
Good hit, wasn't it?
So on the 6th, the Wolfpack will go high. Briley sends it up there. Underneath it is Will Sharp. Easy take for him. Down on one knee and runs it back and almost gets through up to the 20 metre
Well, good
mark.
start from Halifax defensively. And
he's lost the ball here, I think, is he?
I think there's an injury.
Yep, looks like it's Blake Wallace who's down injured. So we'll look if we can see what happened here.
Sharp on the carry, isn't it? Crone, Wallace, I think he copped an elbow from his own players.
Own player, yeah.
Yeah.
Who needs friends? Who needs enemies, rather, when you got friends like... when you got your own teammates are elbowing you in the face. Right, so there was a few injuries we heard about in that first half as well, and Matt Shaw has been all the journalistic work to find out what's been happening. So let's go down. Matt, what's happening in the injury front?
Well, from a Toronto perspective, they are okay. They had a few bumps and bruises, but they've come okay. As for Halifax, not quite as good for them. Steve Tyra has failed his concussion assessment test. He won't be returning. Just a word from the Toronto camp at half-time. They reckon that's the best 40-minute performance they've put on this season. The message from them is to make it a full 80-minute performance, which they've not yet done this term. As to be said, though, it's been very impressive so far.
It has, and he's going to be okay, I think, Blake Wallace. Or if he's not, then Matt will be off there to find out exactly what is well, he is coming off. He is coming off here. It's going to be a head assessment, isn't it? Richard Whiting is coming on for the first time today, and just explain for the Canadian viewers, Brian, or those not au fait with rugby league, what's happening with the head test now as far as Blake Wallace is concerned.
Well, in relation to, it doesn't count as an interchange. He gets 15 minutes to take some tests and show that he's able to go back onto the field in relation to the head knock. And so if he doesn't come back within that period, or is adjudicated that he can't, then
it's all part of the concussion protocol, isn't it?
Yes.
That they have to make sure the player's okay, manage the injury better than maybe all sports have done up till the last few years. But Halifax now with an opportunity, with ball in hand, to try and make some distance downfield, but Toronto are going to try and restrict them equally.
Boy, they get stuck into each other, these teams, don't they? Oh, like that. I felt that one.
Chester Butler in his chest. Buckled his chest, Chester Butler. There's the kick. It's not inside the 40. It's tickling the touchline, or maybe there was a fear there that it had gone in. It was kicked from inside the 40 because there was a grab at that by Pownall. It's come off all right from his point of view because Toronto get possession back again. Here's Rawsthorne. And it's going to be a penalty. Halifax offside.
Well, that's an indication of their vigour. Richard Marshall words have clearly had an impact on them. They're trying to get forward, they're trying to be aggressive, they're trying to stop the go forward. Here's the tackle on Patterson, on Mayer, or Butler, Chester Butler, sorry. But too keen to get into the game this second half, Halifax, and give away that offside penalty.
Tap restart just inside the Halifax half, so they're starting in a promising position. Sidlow, and a big hit there from Brandon Douglas, who's clearly hurt himself there, Brandon Douglas.
His arm, his wrist. What's this? Douglas trying to put the big one on him. He's banged his arm there.
Yeah. That looks very nasty. He's already got that arm.
Seems to have his thumb strapped, doesn't he?
Yeah. Bit of a stinger. Could that have been a stinger? When it sends the nerves tingling down the arm.
I understand what you're saying. When the shoulder gets pinged, it looks a bit.
Well, they're just checking things out. Bit stop-start at the start of the second half because of these two injuries now. We'll be back down to Matt, I'm sure, in the next couple of minutes to find out even more. It's like MASH, isn't it? Down there. ASCII granddads.
Trapper John.
Trapper John.
Hawkeye.
Paul Rowley looking down. Seeing what's happening. He's standing right next to us. He's smiling at us. That's he's seen himself on the screen. He's going to be, well, not okay, but he's he looks in a lot of discomfort here, doesn't he? So he's going to spend time, at least time, on the sidelines to see if he's okay. Interchange might be the end of his game. You'd fancy the way he was walking off. Sam Hopkins will start it up again here for Toronto, looking to rev things up once again. Ackers is 30 metres out, goes right to Briley, who gets a soft little pass away, and they're travelling well here. Bussey's held up, only 5 out from that Halifax line. Ackers again spins it back to Briley. Here's Hopkins, who catches and steps, but Halifax gather him in and putting him down. But you can see how close they are. Still a couple of tackles, a couple of plays to go here. Ackers again. McCrone now with a pass to Patterson, who spun, and his intent was the offload, but he has to keep hold. Last play, Ackers. McCrone, the kick pressure doesn't quite reach him because of the cleverness of the step. The ball spins through that in-goal area, and in the end has to be dealt with. Well, they thought it was going dead. It wasn't. It had to be helped on its way. Drop out underneath the sticks.
Well, McCrone dodges and waves, finds a kick. Is it going out? Isn't it going out? McGrath can't take that responsibility and bashes it out. Another set of 6 in theory to this Wolfpack team.
And all things being equal, they get the ball back here. Well, we need a ball before we can get the ball back, so to speak. Here it comes. So the dropout from Scott Morrell here, from underneath the sticks. looking for the halfway line. Finding the catch of Brierley. Sidlow brings it back. Dummy in a step by Pownall. Good push by him as well. No scoring so far in this second half, but Toronto, it would seem, are maybe poised here, winding up the pressure. Repeat set. Ackers waits, not overly patiently. He wanted that ball played, and then he slips over. So Sidlow will take over that role. No, he won't, because Brierley's dashed in there. Hopkins running away from a couple of defenders, carrying it strong, held up short. You can see how close they are. Will they get closer? Back to Brierley. Here's McCrone. Patterson. 3, 4 defenders into him. Outnumbering and outsizing him. 6th again. McCrone puts the kick up high this time. Whiting's trying to get there. It's knocked backwards. It's picked up by Bussey, who's angling for the corner, but his foot's out of play before he can get there, and it'll be a handover.
Well, great last play, great competition, great defence from Halifax, you have to say, and then they'll scramble that ball, tap it back. Bussey picks it up, really fights hard. He can't keep his feet in touch. Hand over, just out there, but good defence from Halifax, good attack from the Wolfpack.
Brooks will play it, and Saltonstall will try and take it on a stride or two. So tackle 1, and Halifax find themselves 11 metres from their own line. They could desperately do with a penalty here. That would lift them. Otherwise, trusting to their own hard work to try and get themselves out of that troublesome area of the field. It gets Ben Kay to play it. Toronto not exactly being marched back at the moment, but they're certainly heading backwards. Morel, well, he's certainly inside the 40 when he lets fly with that, but it's short of the 20 at the other end, so it'll be Toronto's.
Well, you have to
head
admire the way the Halifax are trying to, Scott Morel particularly, trying to get himself a 40-20 momentum change, a bit more ball and a bit more possession in the Toronto half. Doesn't quite execute the kick, but you admire the way that he's thinking.
Referee Mr. Moore just having a laugh and a chat, it would seem, there with Corey Patterson. Just over half an hour of the match remaining here, and it's to Halifax's credit that the last Toronto try was in the 34th minute, so they've stemmed that flow for a considerable amount of time here, but they want much more than that. That won't satisfy them in any way.
Hickson's been strong today, hasn't he, in the carry?
Ball rolls free. Too much messing on from Heaton. The referee decides penalty for Toronto. 30 from their own line. Josh McCrone will find touch safely and with a bit of distance as well. So Liam Kay runs in and throws it back for Ackers to take the tap. Here's Hopkins. High. Yep, penalty. Penalty for Toronto, so that'll march them further downfield. I can't imagine they'll be going for 2 here.
I'm agreeing with you. Offender has a long way to bend his crane, hasn't he? He's a tall man, 6'5".
Ackers was just asking the referee if he could take a quick one there. The referee said no. It's been a long time since players were allowed to take quick taps in this game. Tackle 1, and Toronto 35 metres out, looking to just build pressure again here. Sidlow thuds it forward. Very decent carry by him. Ackers in there as well. Bezic, of course, on the bench at the moment, watching on here as Ackers goes flying away. He's got so much zip out of that position. 5 out now.
When he's decisive, he's so dangerous.
McCrone and Patterson, I think, has crashed over and got it down. He has. Not the prettiest of tries in the end, but that doesn't matter. That's the 6th of the afternoon stroke evening for this Toronto Wolfpack side.
Well, he's made a difference today. Corey Patterson, both defensively and offensively. Josh McCrone looks so much more comfortable on this left-hand side with Patterson running good lines out of there. Here's the ball from McCrone on the back of an Andy Ackers run, which was very decisive, took the meters, got the defence on the back foot. Good score.
So settles the ship for a second half assault from Toronto. Halifax, for the 6th time today, standing behind their own goal line with questions being asked about how do they respond here. And Ryan Briley with a 100% kicking record so far. This represents the toughest kick so far today for Ryan Briley. I think every other one has been literally right in front of the sticks, but this is just to the left of those uprights. Should nonetheless be fairly simple. Still a big target to aim for from that distance, and he's found it with aplomb. So 6 out of 6 for him, and 36 points to 4 now. Toronto lead.
Well, McCrone finds Patterson, gets his nose down, great technique near the line. Will Sharp again unable to halt the progress.
So there's the scoreline, 50 minutes play, 36-4. Toronto, I think we can reasonably safely assume now are going to be 3 points clear at the top of the championship table at the end of this weekend. They will certainly at the end of this night. There'll be a response, I'm sure, from the others in the top 4 before the weekend is out, but that's a knock-on and a mistake which has given Halifax a leg up, because they now should get the ball back here, just about 15 yards out from the Toronto line. Sidlow's arguing the case that the ball might have been stolen there, but
argue all he wants, the referee won't change his mind. Let's have a look. Fumbled and fumbled with it, didn't he, beforehand, and then didn't quite have control of it when it went up there.
Yep. So head and feed here. Halifax moving it right, getting themselves into a decent position. Out of dummy half from Morris, from Kay rather. Oh, and they've lost it again. They've lost it again.
Well, they will bemoan their lack of ball control from this game, but it's on the back of, I have to say, some quite aggressive defence from the Wolfpack as well.
So there's Lussick on tackle 2. Up towards the 30 metres. Kay will pick up now. Liam Kay goes herring forward again. Ackers. 40 out. Briley. Step here from Hickson, Adam Hickson. He's carried it well inside that Halifax half. Ackers with his arms in the air again, appealing for this ball to be allowed to be playing quicker than it was. Sidlow seemed to be trying to put on the body shape of turning and offloading, but he couldn't get out of the vice-like tackle that came his way. It's Lussick now who thunders it forward again. And that's the 5th. Here comes the final play. Ackers stands and waits. McCrone wants the pass and gets the pass. Kicks it very, very high in the air. It's a take, though, a good leap and a catch from Conor McGrath. And he's been pushed back towards that goal line, but he's held up.
Well, it's a controlled end. It's a good kick, gives your chasers a chance to get down there, and it's scruffy from Bussey in the end there, adjudicating the penalty here, referee Liam Moore. The back of a good kick and a good chase. There you go, Whiting, Bussey, Hickson in the tackle. Take him to ground, dominant tackle.
Terrific relief from Halifax, because instead of another 5 tackles trying to drive out from their own goal line, they've now got a tap restart right on the halfway line. So what do they build from here? Dummy shown by Johnston. Kay and a dummy half, straightened up again here by Marr. Ben Kay. Started life at Leeds all those years ago, Ben Kay, and Harlequins as well for a while, and Morale, and it's well taken by Sharp. The handling was good until that point, and it is a knock-on. Kay came in very quickly there and read that, and has forced the error again, and Toronto get the ball again, and it's another incompleted set from Halifax.
It's about the aggression from the Wolfpack as well. Rawsthorne, Patterson in the face of players. Your skill levels have to be really, really high when you're under that kind of pressure.
So head and feed here for the Wolfpack. McCrone will deliver that ball into the pack, but they're a hooker short at the moment because Andy Ackers is just getting a bit of treatment. Can't pack down yet, fellas. Well, you can, but you'll be waiting a while, so you might as well get up again because they'll need to get someone sticking their head into that back row as well.
Bit of claret.
Once upon a time, they'd be off automatically, wouldn't they, with that kind of blood?
Not if they stop the blood. No, if they can stop the blood flowing, the blood bin. I'm just trying to get. He has to come off for a stitch. So just there you go.
Here we go.
Sellotape his head back together again.
There we go. And the ears penned in as well. And you hookers always used to. You used to do that, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You used to sellotape your ears to the side of your head.
Electric tape, yeah.
Yeah. Stop them
Used
being
to print it
off.
from the local plumber.
Did you?
Yeah.
Manu, you played in the front row. You were a hooker when the dark arts were.
The dark arts
were at their height, weren't they?
Yeah.
They don't have those dark arts anymore, do they?
No, they don't.
So he's stitched up. He looks all neat and tidy. So we're about to get this match underway again. Out it comes. Toronto in possession. Rawsthorne puts it back, and Briley helping it on his way, but good defensive work again. I've been impressed by Conor McGrath today.
Yeah, he's had a crack, hasn't he?
Here's Whiting. Good carry by him. He's playing above his weight, isn't he, Conor McGrath? He only looks slight out there. When you see him close, there's quite a bit of muscle on him, but he only looks slight from a distance. There's nothing slight about this fella, Ashton Sims, who wants to get up and play it. And Ackers now goes right again, and Briley with a dummy and takes them on, but yeah, they're ready. They're ready. They're not going to buy it, not this time. Ackers. I think he appeals at every play, the ball, Andy Ackers. Can we not get this any quicker? Sidlow now, over the 20-metre mark. That's the fifth, last play coming up in the set. So what did Toronto do here? Little discussion going on. Then it comes out to Briley, who pops one over the top. And it's a forward pass. A forward pass to Adam Hickson. And the Halifax fans on the far side, with what I think is known as the business as an ironic cheer there, that they've got a decision going their way.
Well, I think the referee's been good today. Well, that is forward, and he gets that right.
So banging up again from Grady. Halifax 20 metres out from their own line, needing to get it downfield as quickly as they possibly can. Green again, the big tall fella down the middle. Look at them attracted round him. The Lilliputians around Gulliver, dragging him down. Chatter going on at the play the ball. Organising what comes next. What comes next is another big drive forward. This time from Fairbank, Jacob Fairbank. A pick-up sharply from Ben Kay. Bounces out of one attempted tackle from Bussey. Runs back and maybe wishes he hadn't, because waiting for him are Hopkins and Ashton Sims. And bruisingly he's stopped. Going no further. He looks a bit shaky as well. Oh, and Patterson came flying out there to make that tackle, but the rest of the Toronto line was offside. So a penalty here for Halifax. So while the referee's stopping the clock as well. So while that happens, let's go down to Matt again. What's the news now, Matt, down there?
Well, two more players that we won't be seeing this evening. The first, from a Toronto perspective, is Blake Wallace. He's failed his concussion assessment test. He was incredibly groggy coming off the field, so no surprise there. From a Halifax perspective, Brandon Douglas has suffered what looks to be a very serious elbow injury. He's got it iced up. They're not quite sure what's happened, but they are quite concerned. Just something for you to watch out for, Dave. Ben Heaton, he's getting very, very heated on the touchline. That's a brilliant defensive effort from Toronto. Penalty given, but yes, he's getting very heated, and Corey Patterson he's taking the opportunity, shall we say, to wind him up wherever possible.
So Patterson putting the heat on, and there's the penalty. That's the reason. The legs lifted up in the air, so that's why the penalty was given. And Halifax are putting themselves in a decent position here. Still 24 minutes left to play. It might be a long, long way back to actually win the game, but they could do themselves a big credit if they can get a few points on the board here. And Toronto equally will welcome the practice in defence here. The ball has gone to ground again. What's the referee given?
Knock on.
Knock on, head and feet for Toronto.
Yeah. Ben Heaton trying to get to the ball, play the ball quickly, get up to play the ball quickly. Disappoint the referee, so big tackle from Kay, slams him to the ground. He's trying to get up. Plays the ball into Liam Kay, and adjudicated that it's an incorrect play the ball. Knock on.
So head and feed for Toronto. There's a bit of robustiousness at the moment. You can see that marquee at the end there. There's a lot of activity going on in there. We'll have a look at that, peer into that in just a second's time. But Toronto here looking to bring it clear, and Rawsthorne taking it on. 25 out. Ackers, Sidlow. Prop forward step as he takes it in. Ackers again. Now Ashton Sims just hitting that line with energy and enthusiasm. So 3 gone. Ackers to Bussey, who's stepping away. Was there an obstruction there? Well, that's the appeal from the Halifax players. They almost stopped and looked at the referee, but
I think Bussey stopped as well.
No penalty given. Hopkins with a little bit of a surge. Last play, Ackers. Sims to his left, but Briley to his right. More obvious choice, and the kick to touch. And it will be, all things equal, Halifax getting possession back again, but from a very deep position at the moment. They want to stop the clock here, Halifax. They want to keep as much time as possible to try and get points on the board if they can. So let's have a look at these are all having a great time. These are all the Toronto fans and the VIPs down there. You can see the Canadian flags there as well. Somewhere in there is David Argyle, the owner of Toronto. And they put a real party atmosphere on here today at the New River Stadium here in London. Here's Saltonstall for Halifax. Good offload, risky, but risk worth taking. But in the end, doesn't pay dividends because they're all overheating. And that ball come loose. That was a one-on-one steal, so that was okay. But then I think it was knocked on.
Well, I think he's adjudicating that they weren't square at marker, right, so he's given a penalty. So the one-on-one steal is fine. But I think he's saying that Rawsthorne wasn't square at marker.
So Scott Morrell looks for touch and finds it. Saltonstall wants a quick tap. He fancies a go here, but the referee says he holds his whistle in the air and says, "You've got to wait for this, Sonny."
He's had about 3 carries when he's taking him back. Well, you'll be saying to Richard Marshall, well, you counted those 3 where he just called me back.
Chester Butler put down 40 metres away from that Toronto line. It's moved to the left-hand side. Fairbanks pass, and Johnston's involved, as is Sharp now, but Sharp is just mobbed and dragged back. They lost about 10 metres there. Did Halifax. The enthusiasm of the Toronto defence on that occasion. Johnston again pops it back for Fairbank to have another go. Nephew of Carl. Carl is arguably the most famous of the Fairbanks. He's certainly the one that you played with, isn't he, Carl Fairbanks? Sharp.
This is quite dominant defence, you have to say, from the Wolfpack. Every time they've carried the ball from the tap start, remember, they've probably made 2 metres from that in 4 plays.
Ben Kay goes left to Johnston. Ben Kay back in at dummy half. He's an electrician. I think he's worked on the new Headingley stands as well. Ben Kay. There's a kick from Morrell. Has it gone out of play? Yes, it has. So Toronto again will get it back here, but
a nice kick from Morrell, but
10 metres out from their own line. There's a lot of chatter going on there.
Yeah, I think there's a few verbals flying around in this game.
The rivalries build up from previous games, or from the meeting at the Shea earlier this year, or is it just something that is coming from the heat of this game at the moment, do you reckon? Scott Morrell doesn't look happy, does he? Striding away from that scrum.
I think there's plenty of chat going on out there behind the scenes. I think they just warned a couple of Halifax players, and earlier had a word with the Wolfpack players, cut the verbals.
So Ryan Briley sticks the ball in the back of the scrum. Ackers with a pass away, and Patterson with the first charge from the Toronto point of view. 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes left to play. Liam Kay pops it back, and Sidlow comes forward again. Just a 1 score in this second half. Corey Patterson back in the 49th minute, but they've got a penalty here of Toronto, so they should be starting their next set about the halfway line.
Well, Adam Sidlow finds his front here, and they're not square at marker. Gets up to play the ball, adjudicate, that's a penalty.
So the ball disappears out of play over the halfway line. That's where the tap restart will take place. Ackers puts boot to ball, and here comes Patterson to put brute energy into that run. 10 made. Ackers again. Dummies to Sims. Pops it off instead to Emmett. Picked up and right to Sims, and Sims leaping into the battle again. So the big fellas have made decent ground here. Very nearly 30 metres with those opening 3 drives. Back to Emmett again, to Briley, into Bossy, who put a bit of an acceleration on, but put down 5 away. Spins down, still a couple to go. Briley wants more, with a kick slid into the in-goal area. There's no one really chasing it. Ashton Sims was about the closest, and I don't think he had the energy to sprint as fast as he needed to. And Halifax are able to bring it clear.
Yeah, I think there's a communication thing. Ryan Briley clearly saw the short kick on, only had Ashton Sims as a willing combatant, if you like, and cleaned up by Halifax.
McGrath to his feet. It was Saltonstall who really caught the eye in the game between them at Halifax. He's decent today, but it's I think it's the other winger, Conor McGrath, who's certainly catching the eye here today in terms of effort put in. An offload that works. Gamble worth taking. Heaton towards that left-hand side. Once at Oldham, Ben Heaton. Been here for a few years, or been at Halifax for a few years now. Well, they're looking to offload, they're looking to risk their arm, and it's paying off. Johnson carries it on at pace again. And they're inside the Toronto half by a distance. Morris gets up, Kay plays it out, Morel puts it high in the air, spinning up there. Caught. Good catch as well by Johnny Pownall, but a good chase by Halifax, pinning him down close to that goal line. And there's going to be a penalty here for Toronto.
Yeah, they were offside. He couldn't do what he did. He's trying to get around the side, so Pownall finds his front here, gets up to play the ball, and unfortunately Will Sharp's in the way. And it's unfortunate, but that is actually a penalty for being offside.
So they can clear their lines. Not quite as electrifying in terms of the scoreboard ticking over in the second half as it was in the first. It's been a good second half, but it was a terrific first half. As we said, just the 1 score so far, but you rather feel that there's more to come. Macrome now. Here's Patterson. 12 short of the halfway line. Bussy to Sims. Here's Kay. Stands and waits and looks to this left-hand side. Miles, one of those to meet him. Chester Butler was in. Bezic, Sidlow. Halifax putting in an effort here now, trying to stop the Toronto go forward. Briley, quick hands here, too quick, went straight through Whiting's grasp, out of play. And it'll be Halifax who get the reward of that effort in defence with headed feet at the scrum.
Dominant in relation to the physicality this evening of the Wolfpack. Halifax have been game this second half, finding some dummy half runs, some offloads, trying everything. Scott Morrell, full bag of tricks, but I have to say the Wolfpack team have been physically very good.
It says something about the pedigree and the spirit, though, of Halifax, doesn't it? That when, you know, they were consider those tries, 18-0 down after 14 minutes, 30-0 down just after half an hour, and every right to throw the towel in some respects, but they've shown absolutely no signs of that here so far. They've stuck to their task, continue to make it difficult here for Toronto. This is Sharp. A lot of chatter going on. They're shouting out instructions. Kay goes to that left-hand side. It's Morris, Elliot Morris, who bounces off one shoulder, has another dig, but stops. Kay. Green. Long-legged, long-backed. Almost on the halfway line. He's hurt. I think he's hurt. Yep, referee will stop the clock. James Green is going to need a little bit of treatment here. Bang on the back of the head, I think. I'm not sure where that came from.
No, me neither.
Clearly did get a bang on the back of the neck. He's going to be okay. He's not going to have to come off for any kind of a head test. He's going to be okay. So here we go again. 14 minutes left to play. 36-4, as you can see, Toronto leading. And Josh McCrone is being called out here. I think the referee might be putting this on report, because McCrone and Morel, the two captains, being called out. Oh no, Morel's not. He's walking away. Yep, put it on report. Whatever happened there, he's put it on report. So they'll have a look at that, the disciplinary panel, in the week to see if there's any case to be answered there.
Well, my initial reaction is there won't be.
There's Morris. Couple of strides inside the Toronto half. Back to Johnston again. Dummies to Green. Throws it back here. A step by Morel away from the foraging Patterson. And Patterson has another go there to try and make a tackle. But Butler almost slipping the grasp, but two making sure he doesn't. Last play, Morel on the halfway line. Ball spinning up in the air. And is it going to be a safe take? Yes, it is. Safe take again from Johnny Pownall, and Toronto 15 from their own line.
He had his spiral boots on there, Scott Morel. He was trying to get the ball to move in different directions, and he did get some late movement away from Johnny Pownall, which made the catch a whole lot better than it looked.
Here's Hickson, bumping his way forward. Bezic back on the field. The general in the middle. Sidlow almost on the halfway line. Bezic waits patiently again here. Looks to his left-hand side, where Emmett is a willing runner, a more than willing runner, to take it in hard again. Acker's back on the sidelines with Bezic back on the field. McCrone to that left-hand side. McCrone's kick away. Effort needed here. That seemed to hang and nobody seemed to put a name on it, and Patterson has punched it backwards, and Halifax get a bit of fortune to get the ball back again. But they were playing on luck there.
Yeah, they let the ball bounce. And
Saltonstall thumped into by big shoulders, lifted up and dumped on the ground, but up he gets to play it quickly enough. Taken in again by Brandon Moore, who's almost on the halfway line. Ben Kay is there at dummy half. Johnston, little jink, and then back for Butler, and Butler will straighten up and look for a gap, but wrestled to the ground. Kay, ball shoots out from the back of Butler's boots, and Green carries it on again with good intent. They're getting some progress here, are Halifax, but they've only got one play to go. So what's they're going to do? Fairbank to Johnston. Johnston went one way, came back the other. He's looking for a way out here. Whiting grabbed him, trying to get a little tackle on him. That's cheeky from Johnston, and they're back on for Heaton, and Heaton scores the try. And that really was a delight, and it came from nothing. Ben Johnston going to that left-hand side, deciding there wasn't anything for him, but look at this.
Oh, well played, Halifax. Ben Johnson, tricky little kick. Ben Heaton sniffed it on his inside. Johnny Pownall can't make the play. Come forward together, the Toronto team, but Johnson finds a little bit of an opportunity, chips over the top, regathers. Heaton in support. They've been game this second half, Halifax. Find themselves a score.
Well, it was creative, it was crafty, it was something they needed. Got a chance to get themselves into double figures here to level things up in the second half. It's 6-6 in the second half if Grady can put this over. So it just shows how much Halifax have dug back into this game. Toronto not troubled, you wouldn't have thought, in terms of the end result, but they have been given a real test in this second period. Forward comes Grady, and he kicks that one easily enough. His first points of the night, and 36 points to 10. There's a lot of travelling Halifax fans here today, and I think they've enjoyed that moment.
Oh, Johnson with innovation, gets the right bounce, Heaton on his inside. Great finish.
Bit of the Kyle Amors about in there, isn't he? Just saying. You clearly don't see the resemblance. Here comes Rawstorm, and possibly nobody else does. Rawstorm with that restart. And, oh, it's a catch and then a foot. Now, did he have the foot on the line before he caught it? The referee says, yes, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He stepped into touch. Have a look at this. Get out of the way, touch. Let's have a look at this. McGrath catches. We couldn't quite see. Well, he'll tell you that he had a foot out of play. But anyway, it's a head and feet to Toronto. Nine minutes left to play. Floodlights in full effect now above this New River Stadium. Halifax heading for defeat for the first time in 5 as Toronto. Wow.
Is that not a shoulder charge?
That was a hit. That was a hit. Well, we'll have a look at that again. Well, no, it was Saltonstall reaching high, was it? It certainly wasn't a shoulder charge, was it?
It's hit him round the head.
Well, there's a bit of anger amongst both sides here. Panel's going to be okay. Saltonstall looks like a choir boy, doesn't he? James Saltonstall, he doesn't look like a player who'd smash someone around the head for the sake of it. Touch judge is on. Acting as an extra policeman out there. Well, the referee's going to have a word here. Touch judge tells him what he's seen. Probably concur with what the referee saw himself anyway.
He's going to put it on report, I think.
Yeah. Another one goes on report. So second time in the space of about 5 minutes or so. Yep. Put the arms in the air, F. Well, he's given a penalty. High tackle. He's not put it on report. He's not signalled the report anyway. Maybe he's just forgotten to signal the report. Anyway, penalty for Toronto. They're going to play on. Here comes Ashton Sims. Backing in, 5 metres away. Bezic at dummy half. Look at that, look around, looking to see, sizing up the situation, see what's out there. Good pass out to Briley. Briley with a pass away. It's Bussey who gets the offload. Taken in again now by Pownall. Down he goes. Within sight of that line. Bezic again. Going short. Emmett, I think that is trying to force his way over. It's not. It's Hopkins. Bouncing up, wants to get to his feet. Bezic again. This is Emmett. Emmett springs it back. Halifax rushing out. And good job as well from Morel. He's closed it down. But there's still tackles in the back. Still 2 to come here. Bezic now. Out to Briley. Quick hands again. Bussey holds off. That's a lovely little flick away. And they're trying to find a path back in the middle. But Halifax defence scrambling over there. 1 play to go. Bussey has got the job of hoiking that back to Briley, who sends it spinning high in the air again. Rawsthorne goes up there, comes down, hits the head of a Halifax player. I think Patterson tries to get it on, but the referee says no, knock on in all of that, so a handover at the end of the 6th.
Great defence from Halifax. They're certainly vigorous in the second half defensive. They end up adjudicated. That's a knock on from Rawsthorne.
Halifax quick to play it and try and get themselves downfield, but Toronto equally turning up the heat in defence here. They'll sense an opportunity to score at least 1 more try before this game is out, and if they can keep Halifax down here, that would help their cause, but Halifax desperate to get the other way. A couple of tackles gone already, and that will help them because it's a penalty. Not square again. So a chance to kick to touch.
What's he saying, that the word square at marker?
I presume so.
Let's have a look.
The timing of the... well, we'll never know. We'll never know. There's the kick to touch. Tap, restart. Halifax fans are finding their voice here, haven't they? They've not had an awful lot to cheer, certainly in that first half, but they are getting some enthusiastic backing to their side at the moment.
Well, fans respond to when people dig deep, and they had to dig deep after that first blitz in the first half from the Wolfpack.
Brandon Moore is down. Ben Kay is waiting behind him. Looks to his right-hand side again. Puts it back to Morel, who just delays and passes out cleverly for Butler, but Butler can't squeeze through those defenders. Morel again here. They're getting close. Johnston going no further, but the ball offloaded. It came out of Johnston's hand. Now, was it knocked down by a Toronto player? No. The referee's going to give Toronto head and feed.
Well, I thought Bussey stripped the ball there and pulled it backwards. I thought he was allowed to play on. But he's adjudicated the Halifax player knocked on first, so going to come back for the scrum.
No need to stop the clock here. Both sets of forwards just getting a chance to get a bit of oxygen back in their tanks. There's no other reason for the stoppage here. It's just a chance for a rest. I don't think there's any other reason. There's no one getting treated on the field, is there? It's just a kind of a team decision from both sides. We'll just take our time here. Briley. Pownall. Bezic. Busting their way forward again here. Final 4 minutes of the game coming up. The outcome long since decided, and a penalty here, and it's again just getting a little bit heated. Everybody's coming in just to announce that they're there.
Well, Hickson wins the ground here on Moore. So Moore falls out the other side just for our views. So he's every right to just get up and play the ball, is Hickson, and he doesn't let him. There's a big push and shove.
Yeah. Referee's just sorting out again here. 2 touch judges on the field. It's going to be a penalty for Toronto, we know that. Might as well get on with it. Game's lost a bit of steam at the moment, hasn't it, at the back end. So Briley puts it out of play. Can Halifax deny Toronto a final try in these final 3.5 minutes? Or do the Wolfpack sense that they can score again? Hopkins gets up and plays it, and Briley now helps it on its way to Darcy Lussack, who's the man who started things off back in the 4th minute with his debut try, his league debut try. Bezic, Emmett, Hopkins. Takes a bit of an effort to stop him, and they've not only stopped him, they've dragged him back a bit, so that Halifax defence still working hard. Bezic. Emmett spun to the ground. Do they go wider this time? 2 tackles to go. Yes, they do. McCrow puts that little grubber kick in again. It bounces off a shin and is kept alive. And Halifax get the penalty here.
So somebody's committed a foul here, and the referee keen to stop the Halifax players blowing up too much. They've been a whole lot better in the second half, haven't they? Halifax reflection in the scoreline, 6-all.
Oh. Corey Patterson getting the shoulders in there on fullback Will Sharp. He's looked a bit vociferous at times as well, hasn't he, Will Sharp? Up for the challenge here today. So Toronto are going to win here. They're going to go top of the table. Well, they're going to keep their place at the top of the table, but do not write off Halifax for the rest of the season. They'll be there or thereabouts in the mix for that middle eights. Real scrap going on. On little dummy shown by Johnson. He's lost the shorts. That was cheeky. Still is. Pull him up, son. Pull him up.
A great tackle.
It's a full moon in London. Kick downfield is caught well by Hickson. Looking to return with a bit of interest here.
Great play, Adam Hickson. He's had a good game today. A lot of the Wolfpack people. Bussey's been impressive. Patterson on his comeback has made such a huge difference. Both their halves.
Kay. Briley. Whiting. trying to make something happen down that right-hand side, and again a good carry. Into the final minute, we'll have stoppage time here as well. Bussey, Hopkins.
Carried the ball well. All the big people for Toronto have done their job tonight.
Bezic. Emmett away to Patterson, neat little hands from him and over the top from McCrone, and this is going to be a fabulous try. What a way for the Wolfpack to finish. Well, Liam Kay writes his name into the headlines again with his second try of the night, but it's what came before that that really was very special from the Toronto Wolfpack.
Well, they go up the line and they find some offload. Emmett Patterson's great little run around with McCrone, and McCrone finds the great pass for Kay. Good finish, good football, good way for the Wolfpack to end the game, but you have to say Halifax have aimed up in this second half particularly. The Wolfpack again showing a bit of fluidity on the back of, I think Corey Patterson being back in the team has made such a big difference to certainly to Josh McCrone on this left-hand side.
No stoppage time to be added to the 80 minutes there. That will be it. The hooter sounds in the background, so this kick from Ryan Briley will be the last kick of the game. There's a little bit on this because he's 6 out of 6. No, he's got a 100% record to preserve here. So although everyone else around the ground is probably thinking it doesn't matter whether it goes over or not, you can bet your bottom dollar this fella thinks this is vital it goes over. So here he comes. Briley just has a look at the target. 16 points he scored personally tonight, a try and 6 goals. There he goes, and he has nailed it, and he keeps that record intact. 7 out of 7, 42 points to 10. It has finished here. The Wolfpack electrifying in the early stages and finishing fine style too.
Well, then there's the end product. Liam Kay with a great catch above his head. Worthy winners after a blistering first half, you have to say. Clinical, that first half.
So as it stands, Toronto 3 points top of the championship table. To reiterate, Toulouse, London also winners, big winners today in that top 4. And to keep up that expansionist's dream, Catalan Dragons winning earlier as well against Hull FC. But Toronto winners here, 42 points to 10. So how satisfied is their coach Paul Rowley? Let's find out. He's down there with Matt.
Paul, was that the best 80-minute performance you've put on this season?
I think so. I think just everything was built on the back of our defence. I thought our defence was very aggressive, really good. We put a lot of pressure, took a lot of time off them. Yeah, it was about a best performance, I'll say that, yeah.
You were so aggressive down the middle. You seemed to almost bully them as well. Was that part of the game plan before the match?
I don't think bully, just be aggressive. It was good. But he was good with the ball as well. I think it was 94% completion first half, so it was a good performance today, really good.
The likes of Darcy Lussick, his first league appearance, Corey Patterson came in. You're just starting to get all these big guns back in the side now, which must be very encouraging before your first trip to Canada.
Yeah, I've got some headaches coming up because I've got some fit bodies coming back. Like you said, these boys, especially in the middle, the forwards, you know, I've got Olsey Krasnicki today, who's pushing hard now for a spot, and I'm going to look to give him a spot. Dicko's back fit, Greg Worthington, so just happy for the boys today because they've worked hard. And they're getting what they deserve. That's our first home game, London or not, it's our first home game, and you know, we've had a lot of tough wins away from home, and we're at home now.
Paul, well done, thank you.
So he's clearly a happy man. Victory here, 42 points to 10. The home record is 100%, albeit it's in London, and how satisfied the whole Toronto club as a result of that tonight?
Well, there should be. There was a bit of execution about today and a bit of focus. I thought they looked physically strong, they looked physically dominant, and that can only augur well for building their form for the future months.
OK, so they're back off to Toronto next week. It's 1 week only for the time being, but that's the match. You can see it right here on Premier Sports. Toronto against Swinton over there in Ontario, 9:30 Saturday the 5th of May. So I'm sure they'll be looking forward to getting back to Toronto for the first time this season. And then, of course, a week later, they're back over here for that match against Warrington in the Challenge Cup, which will be a real test and a real adventure as well. But victory here, 42 points to 10 to Toronto. Till next time, goodbye.
tolerant, Julian, the sooner you... Oh, no.
Perfect. So, some bozos dented your vehicle.
Julian, could have been anyone.
Him.
Them.
Marigolds.
Anyway, you're probably thinking they wiped out your no-claim discount. But you're with Direct Line and you're not to blame. So unlike other insurers, you can claim and your no-claim discount is safe. I'll leave you the bridge to it.
Alexa, play some relaxing music.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alexa, reorder tissues. Here's what I found.
Ready?
Ready.
Alexa, turn on the lamp.
Okay.
Oh no! Daisy!
In a way, it's all a matter of time. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time for you.
Lloyds Bank, by your side.
What did you choose to teach?
Salut. Bonjour.
What makes fireworks different colours?
Right, we're going to increase the pressure.
Be bold, show courage, have a go.
Je m'habille. What does it mean?
So what do we think? You were right the first time.
Super.
And that's why I chose to teach. You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search apply to teach.
Hey, Leo, how about Meerkat movies tonight? Hello, Leo? Leo? What did Bruce say?
Painting his nails.
Denzel?
Salsa dancing.
Brad?
Ironing his socks.
Oh, why everybody in Hollywood so busy? Of course, George. I'm pulling your tail, Sergey. Let's go.
Yes.
Get 2-for-1 cinema tickets with Meerkat Movies. Only for customers of comparethemarket.com.
Tell me, it is your house, isn't it? You've been living there for 7 years. For the last time, does your door lock conform to British Standards BS 3621?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Some home insurance questions can feel impossible to answer. So at Aviva, we don't ask them. And our home customers get 20% off new car insurance policies.
Opening my eyes after the op and seeing everything crystal clear.
I have the vision of a 20-year-old.
I am now completely glasses-free.
And it's bliss.
My eyes weren't suitable for laser correction.
So I made an appointment.
But thanks to Optegra's amazing permanent lens replacement,
It completely turned my life around.
The Optegra Hospital was
Immaculately clean.
More like a 5-star hotel than a hospital.
I could see so clearly.
Everything was bright.
And nothing to be frightened of.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Great to live life without glasses again.
There are many reasons why more and more people are trusting Optegra for life-changing vision correction, from the latest laser surgery to state-of-the-art lens replacement. Perhaps it's because we have more qualified surgeons than anyone else, or more hospitals, or the choices of treatment, or perhaps it's the more people than ever who are recommending us. See for yourself, and call Optegra now on 0800 860 6120 and find out how you could lose your glasses and change your life for good. That's 0800 860 6120.
My family. You could say we're enthusiasts. But for all their oddities, I love them dearly. That's why I'm arranging my life insurance with Royal London. It takes just a few minutes. You can get up to £500,000 cover. And monthly payments start from just £5. So I know they'll be in good hands.
Buy direct until May 31st and get a £50 amazon.co.uk gift card. Visit royallondon.com/life or call 0800 500 3100.
It's hard to make it to the top.
I never thought I'd make it to the big time.
The dream starts here.
From Oldham St Anne's to Wembley, it's been an amazing journey.
I've gone on to play Super League, but my dream started here.
At 10 years old, I pulled on the famous Bradford Dudley shirt.
Warrington Wolves and England half-back.
England captain and proud Wigan warrior. I'll always be Wigan St Pat's.
I'm Rochdale Mayfield till I die.
This is my family, Castlot Lane.
We are in Trowbridge.
We all started somewhere.
building is buzzing. Oh, my word! You can't stop that! Are you watching this? What a shot! And the fans here are stunned. Oh, what an outstanding play! That is a spotlight moment on Broadway. 2-on-1 down low. Great save by Price.
This is high-end skill, folks.
In by himself, he scores! Yes, sir! A brilliant move. I've seen everything now. Oh, my! Unbelievable. That is old-time hockey right there. You won't see it much better than that.
Welcome to the excitement of NHL tonight. Another thrilling night in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tony Luffman alongside Kevin Weeks and Dave Reed. We were going as wild as you were. Let's get right to the highlights. What a game. Overtime again in this series. Let's go back to the start, though. Evander Kane back in the lineup after serving his one-game suspension. Series tied at a game apiece. Tomas Tatar making his series debut for the Golden Knights. Jonas Donskoy out with lower body injury. Look at that entrance. The Shark Tank was jumping. 12 and a half to go in the first. No score yet. Home team coming hard. Tomas Hertl.
Marc-Andre Fleury stretching it out as Hertl takes it to the backhand. Fleury just gets a toe on it. Able to keep it out.
13-4 shot advantage for San Jose early. Here come the Sharks trying to break the seal. It's Marc-Andre Fleury ready again.
A little bobble at the defensive blue line. Sharks with a
Yeah. You can pod quick, pod all the colours, even those colours. So enjoy the brilliant clean of Ariel 3-in-1 pods. Do you pod? Always pod safely. Close with a click and keep out of reach of children.
Discover a different sub every day with the new sub of the day. Only £2.49.
If I won on Lotto this week, I'd treat my sister Tracy because she deserves it more than anybody I know. She's kind, caring, really gorgeous. She means the world, actually. She means everything. Yeah, I've only got one sister, and she's the best sister ever. She just does all the things that a sister should do. She's a person who never expects to be treated. And she'd be so happy. It'd be beautiful to see her face. She's got a lovely face.
Lotto. Who wins if you win?
Dad? It's triplets.
That's nothing! I just rented a BMW 5 Series for only £49 from Sixt.
Sixt! Drive smug!
This is Captain Ed Mercer of the USS Orville. Do you read me?
We couldn't have been sent back in time, right?
My God, does the whole ship know about this?
Pretty much.
Groovy. I don't know why I just said that. No. It's not bad, right? You drinking a beer? Yeah, I'm nervous.